the client. All right. Now let's go to set up the Kubernetes master. Okay, let's just go ahead and run it. Shell 2, okay, master setup CentOS. Okay, so what's it doing? So it's updating the system, the operating, the packages, sorry. Then it's gonna install kubectl. And then we've set up, just as more like a convenience, utility right there for auto completion. And okay, and then I guess this is setting up the kubectl and the alias for K. But the real, I mean, the important commands are right here. How to initialize the cluster. So I guess we first disable swap, and then here, this is a config.yaml file. And then actually I'll just so this is important. I think this is a kind of new feature. So you have to, if you recall, in previous versions we would run the kubeadmin init command. Let's see. Okay, here. So the kubeadmin init command, we used to pass in parameters such as the CIDR range. Let's see, where do we have it? Here. We used to pass these as arguments to this command in previous versions, or that's the way at least I used to do it. We also used to add the IP address here as an argument, but now I guess it's gearing toward having a config file. So here we're just writing this config file. We're setting the IP, and we're setting the range, the CIDR range. And this is a very important one. Setting the C group driver to systemd, and then we're going to show why. So actually, here, whenever we run, we're showing the processes. So here, systemd, containerd. So we have to make sure that we use systemd as a C group driver. Okay. So once we've created that file, that config file, let's just make sure this is also I guess I'm the only thing that this command does. It's types my IP, it's gonna hostname -i. So it's gonna set this IP address, the master, to here, to the Kubernetes master. And after that, I guess we can go ahead and kubeadmin config images pull. Now this is important. If you get or this happened to me since I'm behind a corporate proxy, I figured out later on, since the images were not getting pulled, that we had to set up that those environments that we just set up a little while earlier. So the node proxy or the proxy or all of that. And then we're ready to run the to initialize the cluster. So here, in this case, we're passing 2 arguments. I think this is not required, but we just want to specify that we're going to be using containerd. Because I guess it can get confused. Let's just add it, containerd, since this is a containerd demo. And we're specifying the config file, which is going to pull the configuration from. Okay. So this is what happened under the hood. This is to set up a kubectl, kubeconfig, sorry, and then the networking. So actually, here on the blog post, I've also added at the end. This top networking technologies running as daemonsets. So as you can see, Calico's number 1 and then Flannel number 2. So just because of this, I've went ahead and added both, and I just tested both. I tested them today. It's January 2021, and they work. So just uncomment. Feel free to uncomment one and comment the other one out. So yeah, after this runs, it initializes the kube master, and let's test. You see it's ready. Okay, get nodes. This got set up. Yeah, so it set up the alias as well, so that you don't have to. That alias is actually up here. Here. So K instead of kubectl. Okay, so we know that kubectl cluster info. So we have our IP and our port, and we actually set those up in the config file we just showed earlier. Let's see here, the bind port and then the IP, and yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Now let's join some workers. Oh, and actually, yeah, that's kubectl get pods, all the namespaces. Everything's running nicely. Let's show the PS tree. Actually, first, let's go ahead and try to join these. Let's see. Let's try to join these. Clash A, kubeadmin join. Let's join all the workers. Okay. So this is executing on each of the worker machines, and it's gonna connect them to the cluster. And in the meantime, what can we do? Oh, okay. Let's see. It seems like it's kind of working. Let's look at the nodes. Okay, so it's connecting these two hosts to the cluster. You can see the version. We have the latest one. Let's look at the process trees in the meantime. So if we do PS tree, we should be able to look at the system daemon right here that we set up earlier as well. We're specifying that we want this is where container D runs. So there's container D, there's the shim, and then actually there's the Kubernetes pods. Look at the architecture here really quick on the blog portion. Okay, so the kubelet, it runs on each host. Let's see, what does the kubelet do? It provides image management. Blah blah blah. Here, okay, so we have container, and each of those containers has a namespace and a C group. And just remember, these are processes. There's the shim, container shim. It's running run C. Container D. There's, oh yeah. Let's see, maybe this. Yeah, this is better. So it's container D, run C, and then we have our namespaces and our processes. So, whoops. I don't think it's something major. Okay, let's just finish this thing here. I guess I found the error as of to why these nodes were not getting attached to the cluster, And the reason is that I forgot to, whenever we added the, let's see, let me show the README. So I'm patching the video. This video is version 0.0.2. So here, whenever we added the no proxy, I forgot to restart on the worker nodes. So I guess the way that to solve this was, yeah, there's just a few commands above. Okay, so clutch a sudo systemctl daemon reload, and then I did the restart container D. So that should take the no proxy changes now, or the proxy settings. Sorry. And yeah, after this, we just deployed a basic daemonset so that it runs on all of the worker hosts. I'll just show the command up here. Here, okay. So it's a very basic daemonset. We went ahead and applied it. As you can see, no changes. And get pods on all the namespaces. So it's running on the kube system namespace, and let's actually go ahead and so that we can look at the IP or the computer where it's running. So this is our daemonset. There's one running on the master and 2 on the worker, on 2 workers. So that's it. Get nodes, they're all ready, and yep, that concludes the patch. Thank you. Have a great rest of your year.